Hi, welcome to the GenX Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. I appreciate you. Everyone has a choice when they scroll by to stop by and to stick around, and I appreciate everyone that's hanging out with me, Mom in her basement at her glam station, getting ready for work. Hey, we're back on Monday. We're back on a weekday. That's what I do. I get ready for work. Today, I thought we would build the base and the blush. I've been down. I was out wash and dry the hair day. Had pickleball yesterday. Have pickleball tonight, so I'm gonna have to come home, do the quick face wash reset, and get out the door and try to apply what I learned yesterday at the clinic to tonight's league. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited. It gives me something. I don't know. It gives me something, some space in my brain to play pickleball throughout the day, waiting for this evening to go and apply the new skills I learned yesterday. All right, we got to get into this because I don't have a lot of time. As usual, Mom on the go, but I've been down here, wash and dry the hair day, layering skincare, layering my color correction, trying very hard to do a nice lip line with the new Rare Beauty lip lining pencil that I got. You spin it at the end and then it retracts up. I'm afraid to see how much product is actually in there. Okay, it retracts down. Let's take a spin. I love this color, and I'm gonna lean in so you can see the job I did. I used it for the first time when I unboxed the pout kit. This came in a Sephora Faves. I used my 20% off early access. I'm so afraid. I don't want to keep going. That's going to last me a while, especially since I can rotate it. But I just found that this product, it left the pigment, and it was so easy to work with. It is very creamy. You know, kind of reminds me of how creamy the e.l.f. $2 lip liners are, but I feel already that this has more staying power than those e.l.f. lip liners. And I know I'm supposed to do my lips last. I totally learned that at beauty school, but I was having fun. That's what I do at my glam station. Kind of figure out that there's no rules. I don't know. All right, so I have a new product. I got it over the weekend. It is a primer. I don't use a lot of primers, but if you're following my channel, you know I'm a collector. In one of the brands I like to collect, and I have to do it in very small increments and do it when I can cash in bonus points or get like some mad deal from Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada, from a beauty boutique at the Shoppers Drug Mart. So that's what I did over the weekend. I had $45 in Shoppers Mart coupons because it's the Springle. The Spring Mingle is upon us on May 3rd, and all the Shoppers Mart here in Canada are selling the raffle tickets. So you buy a raffle ticket for $10, right? They charge you $10 at the register, but then they tear off a little $5 coupon that you can use at the point of sale if you're buying something, or you can bring it back for another day. So when I went to Shoppers on Friday and bought a ton of raffle tickets, also got goodie bags with those. If you've watched my channel and you watched me over the weekend, I've been unboxing those, and they're already going out in today's giveaways. They're going, a selection of some of those samples are going out to Megan, and well, in the future giveaway, I might as well say, hey, we have a giveaway going on. If you're new to the channel, I'll link that giveaway. I'll link that video in this video description, okay? This is not a giveaway video. This isn't, but I want to plug this giveaway. It's this lovely special edition e.l.f. sort of metallic bag. So nice. And inside I have stuffed it with all kinds of makeup and skincare samples. I even threw in some brushes. I threw in some of my P. Louise brushes. If you're not sure what P. Louise is, it's a fantastic brand out of the UK, and she founded by Paige Louise, and she has really nice brushes. So threw a couple of those in there too. Anyway, so when I bought all of my raffle tickets on Friday, I was just there to buy the raffle tickets, get the goodie bags, and get out the door and go to Sephora because I had my eye on the lippy kit I got like 5 different lippies. Yeah, you know, I've said before, you know, I don't advocate buying directly from Sephora anything. I say go to the website of the brand, because maybe you'll get a goodie bag, you'll get a gift with purchase, or you'll build reward points with a particular brand, and there's always more selection. to tell you the truth. But the Sephora faves you can only find at Sephora, and that's why I went to Sephora. I was headed to Sephora to get. I did get this palette. I'm not subscribed to anything on Makeup Forever, and I don't think I'm going to make another purchase from them. So I did go ahead and cash in, use my 20% off to get this lovely face palette. I've got some base products here. I'm not going to use those today. I was going to use them. And then I was looking at my new product that I want to use, that I used my $45 worth of coupons for over the weekend, and switched up, pivoted to a different foundation idea. But I do want to use a blush. I think I want to use the blush in this corner and build it a little bit with my new Teddy Tint from Maybelline in the shade Knee High, and possibly some of the, I think this is Berry Flush, the new Glow Recipe dewy blushes, and powder it up with something that just fell off my Glam Station. Oh, so here it is. Oh, I'm back. I want to use my little Lancome powder blush. What is this in the shade Rose Fresh Rose? All right, maybe we'll get to that. Let's build the base. What did I buy? I continued to build my collection from Guerlain. I have been using the Guerlain primer. I don't use a lot of primer, but I like the Parure Gold 24K. It says I've gone through, I would say, 3 5-milliliter samples this size over the past year. You know, I rotated in. I really like it. I feel it feels hydrating, and that's actually what the 24 in the label stands for. Here it is in the full size. I used 45. it was 95 Canadian dollars, and I used $45 in the coupons that I had, you know, from Friday's raffle buying. So there it is. It's so nice. It's supposed to do a couple of different things. It's supposed to make your face feel plump. It's supposed to make your face, like, immediately and especially over time smoothed out, and it's supposed to give you radiance. It's supposed to make your skin look radiant. So you can put it, if you read the Guerlain website, you can put it on the back of your hand and just strategically apply it around your face, wait a few minutes, and then go in with your foundation. Or, according to Guerlain's website on how to use this thing, you can mix a little bit with a liquid foundation. And so that's what I think I'm going to do today. I want to lay down this base. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin, because it never really lets me down. Shade, looks like I'm using 1 neutral today. I'm going to go 1 or 2. I don't know. This thing is so worn down. I think it's 1. Let me see. They stopped selling my shade on the website, and so I had to buy this at Sephora. I bought this. I don't know when I bought this. It's on reserve. It's 1 neutral. 1 neutral does me better. It is a better shade for me than in the summer. Then I'll use my 2 neutral. But let's go in. Oh man, back of the hand. Let's do back of the hand. It doesn't take a lot. That was a generous pump. That's from the Charlotte Tilbury. Now let's go in and get a generous first pump. Did you see that? Oh, I think maybe I put too much. So you can see where that gold primer is. Woo! Maybe I put a little bit too much. Let's give it another pump. I feel like when I do this stuff, I feel like such a mad scientist. And we're gonna mix it around, getting out the Charlotte Tilbury. There it is on the back. Ooh, I gotta mix it around. Getting out my Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, wow, that thinned it out right away. I've said before, back in the day, I've not worn a lot of makeup. I'm in this midlife makeup crisis stage of my life. But when I was younger and I would put on makeup for special days at work or an occasion or something, I would always cut it with, I would always cut the foundation with a liquidy type of moisturizer, and it was usually Clinique, the yellow moisturizers that comes with Clinique. This what I accomplished here by putting that Parure Gold primer into the Charlotte Tilbury. Now, the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin is not a super thick foundation, and I think it's one of the reasons I like it. So it's already thin. It's not like an Il Makiage, which you know, Il Makiage I find to be quite thick. That would be a good test. We should do that this week. I should get out my Il Makiage and we should cut it with the Guerlain's 24K. Parure Gold's 24K. I mean, the K is supposed to be a play on the 24K is supposed to be a play on the gold effect of the packaging. It's quite bejeweled, if you will, but the website, you know, very clearly markets the fact that this is 24 hours hydrating. Now, you don't find a lot of primers that are claiming to hydrate your skin, right? Like, primers are meant to be a nice, you know, last step, almost last step in your skincare to, I say almost last step because then there is always sunscreen, but, you know, to give your makeup something to stick to. So to say, like, you know, I don't think a lot of primers market themselves to be hydrating. So this is, again, smooth, plump, and give your skin a little bit of radiance. It doesn't actually look like we did much, but I think it's enough. So I just have a tiny little tint, a little bit of a color of a tint. I've got that primer mixed into the whole goodness that's going on, so that when I'm going to let it sit for a moment, so that when we go in and now we're going to build up some blush. Oh, I think I might have pulled up some of my color correcting right here where I have my biggest issues. What shall we go in with? Let's go in with a little bit of the House Labs. This is in the shade 04 Neutral. Maybe I'll use 006. That's got a little bit more of a rose to it. Let's see if that, I'm just going to go right in there. I don't know how I did that. I was trying to be so careful, not using the Beauty Blender. Let's use the other side of the Charlotte. You don't have to buy a Charlotte Tilbury brush to get these cool dual ends. You know, e.l.f. has quite a few brushes that have dual ends to it that can, you know, accomplish getting, you know, having one side that's going to give you more coverage and then the other side of your brush that's going to be a little bit more targeted. You can see how I can get right in there all around. I do like this brush though. I do really like my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood. No, it's not a Hollywood. You would think though, because she's got Hollywood and magic and all. It's just her, I think it's Hollywood. It's her complexion brush. All right, let's just smooth it out. So does what does my face feel like? My face feels super soft, it does feel a little bit plump. I don't know. I do see some glow here. I've got some radiance going on. I feel like hey, I knew that I would like it because I've been experimenting with these guys, these samples for the past year. It wasn't super high up on my collection in terms of like the mental list I have for this particular brand in terms of my collection, but it was up next. You know, like, what am I talking about? Like, I've bought some stuff in front of it. You know, I pulled the trigger on the Triple Lift Serum, on, you know, a few of the Bundle Discovery sets, these sorts of things. But and primer for me sometimes just feels like a gimmick. You know, it feels like one of those steps in skincare. And I have met some people, you know, in my journey, because when anybody's willing to talk to me about their skincare or their makeup routine, no matter where I am, standing in a checkout line somewhere in the department stores, Sephora or Ulta or whatever, and anybody's willing to talk to me about, you know, what their tips and tricks are, or their pros and cons and products and stuff. I've had more than a few people say, I don't use primer, you know, and I don't use a lot of primer because I'm just wondering if it's like a gimmick. You know, as long as you've got your moisturizer down right at a bare minimum, that's kind of the main thing you need for your skin prep. As long as you're not putting, you know, makeup on a super dry canvas, that being your face. All right, we got to get going. So here's my thoughts. I was thinking I dig into this color down here because I feel like it matches at least this is the Teddy Tint Maybelline Maybelline New York Super Stay Teddy Tint. I have been messing around with this. It's supposed to be a lip and a cheek tint. That's how it's marketed. But I'm not a super fan of it as a lippy. It does stain your lips, but there's not a lot of gloss. It feels very pasty. And so, I mean, I was doing a lot of talking last week. I do a lot of talking every week, actually. But I was comparing it, like last week was a week, I just kept comparing it against, you know, the NYX IV tint drops. And I like the NYX better. They leave a longer tint, and that feels like a more hydrating tint. But for the cheeks, I kind of really like this. So I'm using it today. All right, let's dig in. Oh, wow. It breaks my heart. Look at, I hate digging into this thing. It looks so nice, but I don't know what else to do. I think you have to dig into it because it's not super creamy. Like you do need to get a little bit out, and you kind of need to make your own. You need to, hey, B's Latte and I were chatting. We're chatting on Discord, or were we just chatting in the comments of YouTube? Can't remember. Oh, if you haven't joined the GenX Glam Discord server, I usually link that server to every video, and we had a new member join very recently. Oh, it was Bees Latte. Maybe it was on Discord we were chatting about this, but we were just talking about like spraying our sponges. And Bee mentioned, you know, she likes to spray her sponge with a setting spray. I also do as well. I've seen the gurus do that. I'm just looking around. I'm going to use my Milani Make It Last. So I kind of go between, like, I'll start off with a very, very damp beauty blender a lot of times, and then when I want to refresh it, as I'm just like hanging out at my glam station, and it's, you know, I really do wring it out. I mean it's not, when I do it, it's not super sopping wet, which it shouldn't be, but wow, I don't even know what shade this is, but isn't it nice? Oh, for me anyway. I don't know, you know, if you're into like the, you know, bright pinks, which I do like a nice pink every once in a while. Again, it was this one down here. This one down here we're using. I don't know what it's called, but this is kind of the kind of shade that I really gravitate to. I really like it. So that's, to me, that's really, really nice. Anyway, Bees Latte and I were chatting, and I'm sure many of you do this as well. Give your beauty blenders a spray with one of your setting sprays. I mean, I've seen the gurus do it as well. I think it just gives it a really nice refresh, and, you know, to some degree might have a really nice chemical connection. Ooh, that's a bad word. A nice connection with the formula of the product that you're putting down. It's maybe won't pick it up as much as just a sponge that has, you know, has been wrung out from running water on it. All right, there we go. So I wanted to build on this. I do like that monochromatic look, so I'm just kind of dragging it all around. This formula is so, so nice. It's not patchy at all. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as saying it's dewy, but I really do like this base that just left, and I'm going to build on it. I think I would go deeper. I would do more with it if I was not going to add to it, but I'm going to keep going. So this is the Maybelline Teddy Tint. You can use it on your lips. You can use it on your cheeks, and it's in the shade Knee High. And I like it because you can see that those pigmented dots are going down, but they're not overpowering. It's not like the NYX, or not like, excuse me, it's not like e.l.f.'s camo blushes, where you got to be careful with those things. You have to be so careful. Like, one dot will do ya. e.l.f. went all out with those camo drops just to make sure that there would be no doubt that you put something on your face. You have to be so careful with those. Anyway, I just think it gives a nice, and I know that the stain works because I can see it, you know, it worked on my lips. I did so many time lapses last week. I was taking pictures mostly of my lips, and they're all on Discord. They're on the Discord channel, the time lapse pics I did of my lips, where I did one half in the Maybelline Teddy Tint and the other half in the NYX IV tint. And you can really see the difference. The NYX definitely had the staying power, definitely was more hydrating on the lips. On the cheeks, I am no regrets, no regrets at all. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more of a dew, although I think it's not, that radiance that I got going on, I've got to be from this guy right here. Guerlain really lets me down. It's hard to afford. Like I say, I did cash in coupons for it, or I will get it when I have a bonus redemption. You know, when I've saved up enough points at Shoppers Drug Mart in their rewards program to redeem them, you know, for real money at the counter. So there is, what's my offer? I do have an offer going on today. I have to check my offer from the app every day. I think the offer is actually quite good. I think they'll give me 20 times the points on a purchase if I have a minimum spend of 50, which isn't so bad. I got 20 times the points on this too. So it was all in all in, if you cash them in dollar for dollar, I think it was 29,000 points that I got when I used the $45 in coupons. But I never cash them in dollar for dollar. I don't think anybody does. If you're out there and you're Canadian and you're new to the Shoppers Mart like rewards program, the PC Optimum program, don't ever cash your points in dollar for dollar. Wait for the redemptions. I'm waiting for the 400,000 point redemption and getting $700. That's like the best I've ever seen. And it was over Christmas. It's how I got all my stocking stuffers. I saved up my points and I cashed in 400,000 of them, and they gave me $700 in like money, real money, to spend in the store. It was fantastic. And there were even people who saw me and I had 2 baskets, and I was doing stockings for four teenage boys and the husband. So it was a big haul. People were like, man, I wish I was part of your family. Yeah, there were people with like stocking envy at checkout. All right, let's go in with the Fresh Rose from Lancome. Just a little bit of powder. I feel like we're staying in the family. In terms of, you know, the liquids that I used. I love any shade that has rose in it, and it's like whatever title. You get me with rose. All right, a little bit of setting powder, and I'm not hating it, right? I think I have a nice pop of color. What I really actually do need to do is I need to take a huge fluffy brush, and I need to go all around and really smooth out these edges, because like I say, I went for the monochromatic look. Normally I warm up my face with a little bit of like creamy bronzer. Didn't do that today. I'm really just going for that rosy cheek, little bit of a sun-kissed faux sun, but like got a little bit of color going on up there, down here in the jaw. I normally use my creamy bronzer, but today I'm just going for that rosy look. And throughout the day, I'll pinch my cheeks. It's a personal hack to get, did you see how much flush? Look, it looks like I'm blushing. Just a little bit of a pinched cheek throughout the day can bring you right back to life. All right, let's go in. I'm almost ready to go into my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray that I have setting powder. This is her Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder. Love this stuff. And I have one on reserve in one of my overstock drawers because this is running low. It's running low. She also sells this in the mini, but honestly, if you're thinking about getting this setting powder from Charlotte Tilbury, I think that the mini is not a good value buy for you. You're gonna love it. First of all, everybody loves it. And then you're gonna go through it, and for 20 more bucks, when you bought that mini, you could have bought the full size, and it'll last you 3 times longer. I do have a mini here hanging around. I keep it for travel or whatnot. There's the mini that I have, and as you can see, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's like the best setting powder out there, in my opinion. And you might regret if you only buy the mini, because you're gonna love it so much. So it's worth the splurge. I want to say that the mini falls in like the $30-some range, And I think if you buy the fall, it's in the 50. And it's definitely something to get from Charlotte's website because she's always running gifts with purchase. Always, always, always. I will admit her rewards program is a little bit, it's like a snail. It takes a while to get where it needs to go, you know, so you could be buying stuff and it could feel like forever before you could cash it in. But she does such great gifts with purchase almost every week. Either she's giving away a blush or she's giving away, you know, deluxe minis of her iconic skincare products. So she's worth checking out. All right, I gotta go. Oh, I did pull out a lippy. I wanted to use the new one that I got in, oh, and I can't see it. I pulled it out. It must have fallen. The Yves Saint Laurent. I got an Yves Saint Laurent lippy. I'm just looking all around. Shall I lean in and you can see how I did? How did I do? Hey, yeah, alls we can do, I've said it before. Hey, alls we can do is diminish the imperfections, right? We can't expect perfection. All right, I still have out the Tower 28 Balm. I wanted to use the Yves Saint Laurent lippy that came in the Sephora faves. Can't find it. Use it another day, but you know, this is not that far off from the vibe that we have going on today. All right, I bid you farewell, my friends, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're well. See you in the next video. Take care.